10:50 and we're going to start the Economic and Industry Development Committee meeting for the 8th of July. Just a note for everyone that in the procedure, when the chair of a committee is not present, the deputy chair assumes the position, but we have a technicality today not foreseen in the age of technology that the chair is going to attend while she's online, but as a matter of practicality, I'll chair the meeting from the room today so we can progress things along. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes, thank you.
Sounds
Councillor
good.
Madsen, thank you.
Thank you, Deputy.
All right, so just noting, yes, Chair? Sorry, Nikki.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're most welcome. So the councillors in attendance, we have myself, Councillor Madsen, Councillor Kunzelman, Councillor Fechner, Mayor Harding, and Deputy Mayor Jonik is here, but we've got to start off with a procedural motion to allow her attendance. Would anybody like to move that? Councillor Kunzelman has moved, Councillor Fechner has seconded. No discussion, no. We'll put that to a vote that Councillor Jonik can participate via audio link. That's unanimous in the room. How do you vote on that, Councillor Jonik?
Affirmative.
That's unanimous and carried. We'll start off with an acknowledgement of country for this NAIDOC Week committee meeting. So I would like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and community. I pay my respect to their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this city and this region. I honour the elders past, present and emerging, and I extend my welcome to the Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander people who are present today, for they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and hopes of all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples across this nation. Ipswich is a home to a diverse range of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses, including artists, caterers, entertainers, housing and disability support providers. This year, Council supported the recent Ipswich Business Expo at the Ipswich Showgrounds. Part of this was to mentor and sponsor 9 local First Nations businesses to join in the opportunity to share and showcase their unique talents and products. This event provided the opportunity for business relationships to strengthen, new connections made, and a chance for these businesses to take the bold step out into the mainstream business arena. Murray Saylor from Tagai Management Consultants presented at the event on the strengths and benefits of engaging Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander businesses. First Nations businesses are a source of pride and further social and economic equality. These businesses, with the support and encouragement by Council, will continue to strengthen our local economy, foster job creation and promote culture. Council will continue to be proactive in leading and mobilising initiatives that allow significant growth potential in local Indigenous businesses. We will move on to the first item on today's agenda, which is the confirmation of minutes of the Economic and Industry Development Committee 10 June 2021. Would anybody like to move that?
I'll move that.
Councillor Fechner has moved. Do we have a seconder? Mayor Harding. Any discussion? Those for accepting the minutes? That's myself, Councillor Fechner, Mayor Harding. How do you vote, Deputy Mayor Jonik?
Affirmative.
That's in the affirmative. And Councillor Kunzelman, you're an abstention on this matter?
I am an abstention on the basis that I was not here.
Yeah. And Councillor Kunzelman as an abstention, and that's carried. Our next item today is the Small Business Funding Program. Would anybody like the relevant officer to brief us on this? Mayor Harding.
Good morning, Deputy Chair, Mayor and Councillors. Kat Matson, Manager for Economic and Community Development.
Through you, Chair. I know in the report it talks about distributing $264,000, and then the next paragraph it says a further 150 for this next financial year. So is the total about 400,000, or is it 150? I wasn't.
My apologies, that was obviously not clear in the report. So we distributed 264 in the last financial year
Yes.
to 30 June, and this year, starting from 1st of July 2021, we have another 150 to distribute to
Thank you.
local small businesses.
Thank you very much.
Do you want anything more?
Can you inform us what the plan is for the next 150,000?
Sure. So what this report is calling for your endorsement on is two key principles that we would like to build this year's funding program on. The first is to build resilience through skill acquisition and then execution of those new skills. And the second is scaling growth. So let me explain the first one. So we've seen that resilience matters when it comes to small business viability, sustainability and survivability through events like COVID, but also just through differing economic circumstances. What we want to ensure that we do this year with the funding program is to help our local small businesses build the resilience they need to survive when things turn around, when things are different. Now, resilience can be everything from continuity planning to succession planning to how do you build a buffer in your cash flow, how do you quickly turn around, whether that's a pivot or whether it's diversification. So what we'd like to do with this year's funding program under the resilience framework is partner it with education workshops and then provide funding for implementation. So we're not just saying, here's some money, go and do what you want with it. It's actually empowering our local small businesses with the skills they need. The second part then is to encourage those businesses that are ready to scale and therefore employ more people, encouraging them with funding to get through the complexities of jumping to that next level of growth with, again, a skill acquisition program as well as execution. Now, we're still figuring out exactly how to do this because Council's role is not to educate, Council's role is to empower and to support. So we're still figuring that part out, but what we'd like from you is the endorsement that they're the principles that we would like to pursue this year through the Small Business Funding Program.
I know here that we talked about the consultation with the presidents of the two chambers of commerce, which thank you very much for that. I guess I'm just making sure that we're not cross purposes, that there was a lot of support that those two chambers provide. I don't want us to do the job that they are doing. I guess how are you making sure that we're not stepping on each other's toes and supporting the chambers so that they can have, because they have those links in the industry?
And that's exactly part of the engagement that we're undertaking at the moment, particularly with your endorsement that these are the principles that we want to follow this year. So last year it was very much in a reaction to COVID. COVID's hit, we need to support our small business owners, and so we gave them money to deal with all sorts of challenges that they dealt with. This year we want to twist that a little bit or upskill it a bit. And so what we want to do with the chambers as well as other industry groups and the local businesses is actually partner with that skill building and the capability building, and then for council's funding to come in and support the execution. So for example, if the chamber was to run a workshop on business continuity planning or on succession planning, the business owners would attend that, and then they could apply for the funding to actually engage an advisor or to spend the time to develop their own continuity plan. So what we're looking to do here is actually partner the funding with skills or with other funding programs so it can actually go further and build true capability in the economy.
Thank
you. Thank you. Fabulous.
Would any members of the committee like to move the recommendation before us? Councillor Fechner, do we have a seconder? Councillor Kunzelman. Any discussion amongst the committee members? Mayor?
If I may, Chair, I think it's important to note that last financial year there was more money put towards, and I think that was an immediate reaction from this council in response to COVID. It was all hands on deck. We weren't sure what was going to happen. And I just want to reiterate that the $150,000 that's there, as marked in the report, is the entire amount, 100%, is going towards funding programs for building resilience and scaling growth. That doesn't include councils, staffing costs, marketing, administration, all those kinds of things as well. And just an acknowledgement too that obviously we're responsive to the needs of the business community, and if we see that there's a need for more funding, that is something that we can have a discussion again when we do a budget amendment as well. But I just want the chambers know and the business to know that we're here, we've done a lot to support them, and we wish to continue to do that.
Any further discussion? With no further discussion, I'll put the recommendation to the vote. Those in favour? Looking around the room, that's unanimous. How do you vote, Deputy Mayor?
In the affirmative.
Thank you. That's unanimous and carried. That is our 2 items for the day, all said and done. I would like to close the meeting at 11:01.
I guess next meeting at 11:11.